Hey everybody, Paula Lindsay here with Words on the Street. Today it's Sunday, July 14th. I think that there is an escalation to the spin on the detention of children. And it's alarming to me. Today, I was thinking that when I first started doing this, the objection was that it wasn't true, that children were not being incarcerated, that it was just all a lie. Well, clearly that's not the case. It's well documented now that children were taken from their parents and that they're incarcerated in really terrible situations. And we know of cases where children have arrived in these places healthy from the trip with their parents, and then because of neglect and disease have died. We know that this is the truth. So that didn't really last very long. And then the next phase was that, well, this is all to blame the parents. The parents are the ones to blame for all of the situation with these children, and that they are incarcerated because their children were put at risk by the parents, and that is abusive. Of course, my ancestors who came here in the early 1600s, and then more of them that came during the potato famine, were not accused of that. So I mean, that was an argument for a while. Now it is, well, it doesn't matter what situation they're put in because they're illegal. I heard a number of people say that today as they drove by. They're illegal, so that justifies what is being done to them. And then toward the later part of the day, there were a couple of people that drove by, rolled down their window and said, "You are a fucking racist." So I expect that is the next spin, that anyone who does not support this terrible condition that we're doing, this situation that we have with children, that somehow that is a racist. I mean, I don't know how that's going to work out, but if you're going to get your head in a place where you can cage little children and have them living in squalor and terrible situations without food, water, a decent place to sleep, then you can convince yourself of anything. So I'm not quite sure how that spin will work around, but apparently that's what's coming next. A few days ago, there was a man that brought a paper sign with him. It wasn't made very well, and he stood on the corner opposite me and sort of heckled me for a while. I couldn't see the sign. It was poorly made. The only thing that I could see on it was Trump's name, and then there were pictures of kids. I really couldn't understand what he was going for, but he was trying to engage me in an argument, and I wasn't going to argue with him from across the street, and he didn't come over to me, so he only lasted for 15 minutes. I mean, staying on the corner is difficult. It's harder than it looks, perhaps, but it's not like the most impossible thing in the world to do. But this guy just didn't last very long. He ran across the street into one of the gas stations there, and I've noticed that in this gas station there are a number of people who are yelling at me from there, and as they fill up their gas. And I have wondered if perhaps there isn't some negativity about me going on in there. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. But today, the manager of that store came over and he said, I will never agree with your politics. Not that he ever asked me what I'm protesting or any of that. And he had already decided he didn't agree with me. I wasn't going to stand there and argue with him. But he said, I don't ever see you drinking water, and I'm bringing you some water today. So that was kind of nice. Anyway, time goes on, and I will carry on. Bye for now.